Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 22nd of February 2024. Essence: Sweet children, in order to die alive while in those bodies, practice I am a soul and you too are a soul. Attachment will be broken by your practice of this. Question: what is the highest destination? What are the signs of those who reach that destination? Answer: to break your attachment to all bodily beings and constantly have the awareness of brotherhood is the highest destination. Only those who constantly practice being soul-conscious can reach that destination. If you are not soul-conscious, you will continue to become trapped somewhere or other, either in your own body or in the bodies of your friends and relatives. You would like something of others, or you would like the body of someone. Those who are to reach the highest destination cannot love a physical body. Their awareness of bodies will have been broken. Om Shanti. The spiritual father says to you spiritual children, "Look, I have come to make all of you children the same as myself." Now, how would the Father come here to make you the same as himself? He is incorporeal. He says, "I am incorporeal, and I have come to make you children the same as myself." That is, to make you incorporeal and to teach you how to die alive. The Father too considers himself to be a soul. He doesn't have any consciousness of this body. While being in a body, he doesn't have any awareness of the body. This body doesn't belong to him. You children too have to remove the consciousness of your bodies. You souls have to come back home with me. Just as I have taken this body on loan, in the same way, souls also take bodies on loan to play their parts. Each of you has been taking a body for birth after birth. Now, although I am alive in this body, I am still detached. That is, I am dead to it. To shed your body is referred to as dying. You too have to die alive to your bodies. I am a soul and you too are souls. Do you want to come back with me, or do you just want to sit here? You have had attachment to bodies for birth after birth. Just as I am bodiless, you too have to consider yourselves to be bodiless while alive. We now have to go back with Baba. Just as this is Baba's old body, so you souls also have old bodies. You have to renounce those old shoes. Just as I don't have any attachment to this one, so you too have to remove your attachment from those old shoes. You have the habit of attachment. I don't have that habit. I have died alive. You too have to die alive. If you want to go back home with me, then practice this. You have so much awareness of the body, don't even ask. Even when the body is diseased, the soul doesn't leave it alone. You have to break your attachment to it. We definitely have to go back home with Baba. You have to consider yourselves to be separate from those bodies. This is called dying alive. Just remember your home. You have been living in a body for birth after birth, and this is why you have to make effort. You have to die alive. I only enter this one temporarily. So by moving along while considering yourselves to be dead, that is, by considering yourselves to be souls, there won't be any attachment to any bodily beings. Generally, everyone has attachment to someone or other, and they can't stay without seeing that person. You should completely remove the remembrance of bodily beings, because the destination is very high. While eating and drinking, it should be as though you are not in that body. You have to make this stage firm, because only then can you enter the rosary of 8 jewels. You cannot receive a high status without making effort. For as long as you live, you should consider yourselves to be residents of that place. Just as Baba is sitting in this one temporarily, in the same way, we too now have to return home. Just as Baba doesn't have attachment, in the same way, we too should not have attachment. The Father has to sit in this body in order to explain to you children. You now have to return home. Therefore, you mustn't have attachment to bodily beings. This one is very good. She is very sweet. The intellect of the soul is pulled there. The Father says, do not look at the body, look at the soul. By looking at the body, you become trapped. The destination is very high. You have also had attachment for birth after birth. Baba doesn't have any attachment, and this is why he has come to teach you. The Father himself says, I do not become trapped in this body. You are trapped in these bodies. I have come to liberate you. Your 84 births have now ended. Therefore, now remove your consciousness of the body. By not being soul conscious, you continue to become trapped somewhere or other. If you like something or someone, or if you like someone's body, you would continue to remember that one even while at home. If there is love for a body, you become defeated. Some are spoilt very much in this way. The Father says, break the relationship of husband and wife and consider yourselves to be souls. That one is a soul, and I too am a soul. By considering yourselves to be souls, the consciousness of your bodies will continue to be removed. By having remembrance of the Father, your sins will be absolved. You can churn this subject very well. You cannot jump with that enthusiasm without churning the ocean of knowledge. It should be firm that you definitely have to go back with the Father. The main thing is remembrance. The cycle of 84 births has now ended, and it has to start again. If you don't remove your attachment from those old bodies, you will become trapped, either in your own body or in the bodies of friends and relatives. You mustn't attach your heart to anyone. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. I, the soul, am incorporeal, and the Father is also incorporeal. You have been remembering the Father on the path of devotion for half the cycle. When you say, "O Prabhu," the Shiva Lingam comes in front of you. You cannot say, "O Prabhu," to a bodily being. Everyone who goes to the Shiva temple and worships him considers him to be the Supreme Soul. God, the highest on high, is only one. He is the highest on high, that is, the one who resides in the supreme abode. Devotion is at first unadulterated. It is devotion of just the one. Then that too becomes adulterated. The Father repeatedly explains to you, children, if you want to claim a high status, then practice this. Renounce the consciousness of the body. Even sannyasis renounce the vices. Previously they were sato-pradhan, but even they have now become tamo-pradhan. A sato-pradhan soul has an attraction that pulls impure souls, because that soul is pure. Even though they do take rebirth, because those souls are pure, they attract others, and so many people become their followers. The more power of purity they have, the more followers they have. This Father is ever pure and incognito. He is double, but all the strength is of that one, not of this one, Brahma. It was also that one, not this Brahma, who attracted you in the beginning, because that one is ever pure. You did not run after this one. This one says, I stayed on the family path the most for 84 births. This one cannot pull you. The Father says, I pulled you. Although sannyasis remain pure, none of them would be as pure as I am. They all relate the scriptures, etc., of the path of devotion. I come and tell you the essence of all the Vedas and scriptures. They have shown a picture of Brahma emerging from the navel of Vishnu, and then they show the scriptures in the hands of Brahma. Now, Vishnu would not tell you the secrets of the scriptures through Brahma. Those people also consider Vishnu to be God. The Father explains, I speak to you through this Brahma. I do not speak to you through Vishnu. There is a vast difference between Brahma and Vishnu. Brahma becomes Vishnu, and then after 84 births there is this confluence. This is something new. These are such wonderful things and have to be explained. Now the Father says, children, you have to die alive. You are living in those bodies, are you not? You understand that you are souls. You understand that you are souls and that you will go home with Baba. You will not take those bodies, etc. with you. Baba has now come. Therefore, transfer everything to the new world. People make donations and perform charity, etc. in order to receive something in their next birth. You too will receive everything in the new world. Only those who did this in the previous cycle will do this. There won't be anything more or anything less. You will continue to observe as detached observers. There is no need to say anything. Nonetheless, the Father explains, you mustn't have any arrogance about what you have done. I, a soul, will shed this body and go home. I will then go to the new world and take a new body. It is remembered, Rama went and Ravan went. The family of Ravan is so big. You are only a handful. All of this is the community of Ravan. Your community of Rama will be so small, only 900,000. You are the stars of the earth, the mother, father, and you children. So the Father repeatedly explains to you children, try to die alive. On seeing someone, if it enters your intellect that that person is very good, or that she explains very sweetly, that too is an attack by Maya. Maya tempts you. If it is not in that one's fortune, Maya comes in front of him. No matter how much you explain to him, he will feel angry. He wouldn't understand that it is body consciousness that is making him do that. If you tried to explain any more, he would break. Therefore, you have to interact with everyone with love. If your heart becomes attached to someone, don't even ask. You go crazy. Maya makes you completely senseless. This is why the Father says, do not become trapped in the name and form of anyone. I am a soul, and I must only love the one Father who is bodiless. This is the only effort. Let there be no attachment to anyone. It should not be that, while sitting at home, you continue to remember the one who gave you knowledge, that she is very sweet and explains very well. Oh, but it is the knowledge that is sweet. It is the soul that is sweet. The body is not sweet. It is the soul that speaks. Never go crazy about a body. Nowadays there is a lot of this on the path of devotion. They continue to say Ma, Ma to Anandamayi Ma as they remember her. Acha, where is the Father? Are you going to receive your inheritance from the Father or from a mother? Where does the mother receive money from? None of your sins will be cut away by simply saying, Ma, Ma. The Father says, constantly remember me alone. Do not become trapped in the name or form, or there would be even more sin committed, because you became disobedient to the Father. Many children have forgotten the Father. The Father explains, I have come to take you children back, and so I certainly will take you back. Therefore remember me. Only by remembering me will your sins be cut away. On the path of devotion, you have been remembering many, but how can you do anything without the Father? The Father doesn't tell you to remember Ma. The Father says, remember me. I am the purifier. Follow the directions of the Father. You have to continue to explain to others according to the directions of the Father. You are not purifiers. You have to remember the one alone. Mine is one Father and none other. Baba, I will only surrender to you. You have to surrender yourselves to Shivbaba alone. The remembrance of everyone else has to be renounced. On the path of devotion, they continue to remember many. Here you have one Shivbaba and none other. Nevertheless, some follow their own dictates, and so what liberation or salvation will they receive? They become confused. How can I remember a point? Oh, but you do remember that you are a soul, do you not? A soul is a point. I, your Father, am also a point. You receive the inheritance from the Father. Ma, Anandamay, is still a bodily being. You are to receive your inheritance from the bodiless one. Therefore, renounce everything else and connect your intellects in yoga to the one alone. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence Vedana 1. In order to end any consciousness of bodies, while walking and moving around, practice being dead to your body. Become detached. I am not in a body. Just look at souls without bodies. 2. You must never go crazy about anyone's body. Have love for the one bodiless Father. Connect your intellects in yoga to the one alone. Blessing. May you be a karma yogi and receive blessings by keeping a balance of doing service and making effort on yourself. A karma yogi is someone who has a balance of yoga while acting. Service means acting, and making effort on oneself means being yog-yukt. In order to keep a balance of these two, just remember one expression. The Father is Karavanha, and I, this soul, am Karanha. One who inspires and one who does. This one expression will enable you to keep a very good balance, and you will receive blessings from everyone. When you consider yourself to be a Karavanha, instead of considering yourself to be a Karanha, there isn't a balance, and Maya then takes her chance. Slogan. In order to do the service of taking others beyond with a glance, keep BapDada merged in your eyes. Om Shanti.